Hello everyone. Today we're going to the chapter 2. Okay. Telling a few stories. These are stories I wish to forget, but unable to forget. Okay. But after this, I think I'm going to forget it, move forward. I don't want to remember all those things anymore. Every family is a small portion of the society, and almost all families has at least one trouble person. Okay, trouble guy. I was born the trouble person in my family. The following are examples. 1. Secret ends conflict. When people smoke tobacco, when it go to end, you call the secret ends. Okay, it's not a secret, it's a cigarette. Sorry, cigaretto, cigarette. I hope my pronunciation you understand. Okay, this incident happened during the end of my first elementary school, year 1961. I think it's about 3 kilometers from the school I went and the place I lived. But that took 7 years old now, half an hour to walk. But that is only in the morning when I went to school. But we went back from school to my home, the time cost much longer. Why? Because I had to try to pick up cigarette ends from the ground for my father. Because my father was a very heavy smoker. And of course, he had not much money to buy the cigarette. So we have to pick it up when the people throw it away, pick it up for my father. But when I say pick up, it is not as simple as, you see cigarette ends everywhere, you can just pick it up. No. First, I have to find someone who is smoking. Then I follow the smoker for quite a distance sometimes. And until the end, when the last drop. But some people, they put on the ground and use the feet, then nothing left, Then I have to pick up very, very small thing from the ground. Okay, I did, yes. I worked very hard, not because I like it, it's because I want to win. Because my brother, Dan Xin, also picked up secret ends. I did. So I always wanted to compete with him. Of course, in the most cases, I was the winner. So my brother doesn't care very much, He did not care very much. He said, okay, you're the winner, so what? But to me, to win anything is a kind of satisfaction. I win. So next thing we do, we gathered the secret ends together, me and my brother. I peel the paper out and leave all the tobacco. Then my father will use it, put in the pot, pour some spirit, alcohol, and fry it before he consume it again. In my book, I wrote like this. Father, put the second-mouth tobacco in a frying pan, infusing a little alcohol, and then heating it up for a few seconds for the purpose of disinfection, I suppose. Then the loose tobacco was ready for my father to roll his trumpet-shaped cigarette, horn-shaped. One day, I invited my classmate to do the pick-up together with me. Although older than me, he looked younger as he was smaller. Our deal was to pick up together, and by the end, we split it 50-50. That day, the business was unusually bad. I put the blame on him and broke the deal by saying, I could only give you 30%. He disagreed, of course. I ran away. He chased me tightly all the way to where I lived. So he was quite a guy, I was running away very fast maybe 1 or 2 kilometers, and he just chased me all the way back home. My brother Danshin appeared by chance. After listening to his complaint of my wrongdoing, through tears and slivers, and he was saying, "Oh, your brother is bad, and he break his promise and this and that." Danshin gave all the secret ends that he had collected during the whole day to my classmate. In addition, Danshin walked him back for about 10 minutes, comforting him by promising, "I will report my brother's wrongdoing to our parents." To tell somebody's parents the wrongdoing is a big thing by that time. But I was thinking what my brother did was extremely stupid, especially towards such a small fellow. Something unexpected happened. My classmate turned his head, staring at me. As soon as our eyes met, he threw a secret end on the ground. I pounced on it like a tiger. He walked some distance and threw another. Again, I dashed up, again and again. Half an hour passed, and we were not far away from the place he lived. Then he laughed with victorious satisfaction and poured everything he had left in his hands on the ground. Though I was exhausted when I got home, I showed off my achievement to Danshin, "Oh, this is what I did." Big deal. I thought I deserved a praise. Yet Danshin made no comment. Later, he told me coldly, "Your classmate's father does not smoke. Not at all." I was wounded with no words, only sickened thoughts that I should not have taken advantage of a smaller classmate in the first place. Sometimes you never know. In the evening, Danshin kept his promise to report my wrongdoing to our parents. As a result, my parents doubled my housework as punishment. I was very disappointed and decided to quit the pick-up business forever. I imagined my father running at his nose caused by lack of smoking. I could not help laughing. Somehow I had my moment. In fact, what I really should be proud of were those speeches written by my father for some important provincial leaders. Speeches such as, "The situation of our country is not only good, but also getting better and better." For sure, derived from my picked up secret ends, at least part of them. Number 2 story, okay. My red rain shoes. It was some days before Chinese New Year. 1961 was before global warming. Everywhere in Changsha was covered by snow and ice. The temperature was below zero, even inside. Therefore, outside temperature I dare not to remember. In spite of that blood cold, every day my brother Danshin still took me walk all the way to school. Walking was bad, but the worst was the only pair of old rubber rain shoes I had. That pair of shoes are full of holes, and because I had no socks, my mother found 2 rags to wrap my feet. Because the shoes were too old and a little too small for me, I had to fit my feet in by force. That caused one of my dear old shoes to open its mouth like a dead fish. Counting the days, the Chinese New Year finally drew near. I bowed to my mother with my big toe. Immediately, mother replied, without taking a good look at my polite toe, I know, I will do something before the Chinese New Year. At last, the day before Chinese New Year came, and mother handed me a pair of red rubber rain shoes. I was so excited. Oh, I could not wait until next morning. Next morning, I got up from bed. I threw myself on them with great joy and happiness. However, when I took a look of my shoes, they were not new. To my greatest disappointment, this pair of shoes are the same broken shoes I had worn for years. Why did they look new at first glance? Because a layer of bicycle inner tube had been glued on the surface. Okay, I give it a very romantic description. My black shoes were wrapped by a red coat. Okay. Nevertheless, I still feel excited. I put the shoes on at once and ran out of the house. Outside, the ground was frozen. When I found a place with comparatively thin ice, I hit my heel on the ice to break it. Then, very bravely, I just get my feet into the water. This time, I have very satisfactory thoughts. Water, water, I'm no longer afraid of you. Yet, to my enormous despair, the water get into my shoes, as always. I limped back home. Mother tricked my painless, frozen ear. Shh. Among the 4 brothers, only your shoes I could afford to repair this time for the year. How could you step into dirty water with such a precious pair of rain shoes? You deserve no valuable things. From now on, you go out with your bare feet. My mother was very angry. Of course, I would. At the same time, Mother removed my red shoes. She did it very gently on the shoes, but not on my foot, and tried to dry the wet one carefully by putting it at a not too far, not too near to the coal stove, adjusting the distance back and forth a couple of times, leaving my foot wet. Okay. In Chinese New Year, we have the custom to visit each other. So the whole day, my other brothers were in and out seeing friends and bring the friends back to the house frequently. But poor me had to stay in bed just to keep my feet warm. Although sometimes I did get up and jump with one shoe inside the house. The Chinese New Year Eve family dinner, just like Christmas dinner for the Westerners, used to be and still is the most important event among the Chinese. It is our tradition to get everyone of the family to sit together around the dinner table on that specific day at that particular moment. In Chinese, it is called 团圆饭, reunion meal. No matter how horrible the poverty was, our stomachs deserve to be fed fully once a year. But that evening, my father received an invitation to go to a party held by the Communist Party, the government. The party took place at Xiangjiang Hotel, which was the highest building, as high as 9 floors. That's something, by that time, with an elevator being built after the liberation in Hunan province. I think that was the first elevator existed out in New China, in Hunan province, My father waved the invitation in front of entire family, and announced there would be no family dinner on that evening because of this much more important party. Everybody cheered up. They all went out for the party with my father, except me. Stay in bed. When they were at the party, eating, drinking, singing, laughing, I was hopelessly gazing at my half-dry, half-wet shoe by the stove with desolation. All I could do to comfort myself was by fantasizing. I'm not particularly fancy about parties, but about the elevator when I grow up. I'm going to live in a higher building with a better elevator. Every day I shall take the elevator up and down all the time. And you folks are not welcome to visit me. Okay. I just used my, imagination to satisfy myself. By midnight, after I got over my hunger, my people came back with full stomachs. Immediately, I decided not to give them a chance to show their sorrow for me. Okay, I covered my head with quilt, pretending to be in a deep sleep. Maybe my performance grunt was better than reality. Everybody seems to be amused. Father stopped their laughing, spoke with a loud enough low voice. Don't wake him up. Soon after that, I heard the sound of opening a package. Father's voice again. Look at this. The party leader gave it to our family. Rice cake. Rice cake? My goodness. We haven't had it for a long time. Thanks the great party, my mother's voice said with excitement and gratitude. We only have a little just to get a taste for now and leave the rest for tomorrow, Father ordered. Next, I heard the chewing sound of my brothers. How about Daniel? Mother reminded. He should wake up if he would like to join us, Father teased. A piece of cake to a 7-year-old boy. What a cruel temptation. Suddenly, I felt my mouth full of hands extending to take the cake. From the bottom of my heart, from my stomach, I would like very much to join them. In one word, eat, eat. I really wanted to eat. But what about my face, my pride, my dignity, my self-respect? I stood in the middle of that piece of cake by swallowing my constantly floating sour slobbers until everybody went to bed and the room was dark. My elder brother Danshin poured a bit of rice cake into my mouth. That wonderful taste kept me awake the whole night. Next morning, though my shoe was dry, I volunteered to be home alone again. When the whole family was out to do New Year greeting to other neighbors, door by door, I called one of my die-hard pals to come to my house. Together, we broke the lock of the only food box our family had and shared everything left in it. Okay. I think that's all for today. And the next story is my first experience of a class struggle, a fight with someone higher than my class over white glass, because we need to pick up white glass to eat. But we had to fight for that. So that was my first experience of class struggle. Thank you. Bye-bye. Immediately,